you have to come to grips with your financial situation, because about 65% of the time or more, once a foreclosure has been resolved, it goes back into foreclosure within 6 to 8 months. And I discuss this at length in the books, because there are certain investor tactics that can be used, knowing that the probability is very high you won't stay there, and you'll think it's the greatest thing in the world, and the odds are you won't be able to stay in the property. So realtors have an ulterior motive only because they only get paid a commission if they sell the house. Whatever the realtor tells you about how quickly it can be sold, be extraordinarily careful. I cover this in the book, because the realtor has a commission to lose, but you have your house to lose. Big difference. The other thing you're going to get a lot of contact from, with, again, varying opinions about what you should be doing, is from mortgage brokers looking to refinance your property. Now, again, you're in foreclosure, and why would a lender refinance your property? The only reason is because they think they can make money off of it. They're called predatory lenders. They're predatory because the chances of your paying a much higher interest rate, much higher monthly payment to get you out of it, is slim to none in some cases. So there are good lenders that will refi out there, but they refinance only on the basis of how much equity you have in your home, and they leave themselves plenty of equity in the event that you can't make the payments in the future. So be extraordinarily careful. One of the huge scams that's happened for years is a mortgage broker will say, I can do the loan, I can do the loan. He takes an application, you get closer and closer. The bank is holding off for a closing date because you're going to refinance the loan. On the date of closing, which is going to be just before the auction sale, the mortgage broker says, well, I have a problem. The bank's changed the lending criteria, and I can't finance your loan. I can't refinance it anymore. Well, there you are sitting in an attorney's office or in his office, and you say, well, what do I do? Well, he might say to you, well, I know somebody that can help you. I have an investor friend who'd be willing to pay you for some of your equity and take over your loan or pay off the loan or whatever he intends to do with it. That may have been a setup from the beginning. And if you have $40,000 or $50,000 worth of equity in the property, you may be looking at receiving $1,000 or only $5,000 for it. So I mentioned in the book how to overcome this so it can't happen to you. But be careful. Be extremely careful. Bankruptcy attorneys. Great group of guys, do their job very well. Bankruptcy is, I'm going to say, straightforward. Oftentimes people file their own bankruptcy documents. I don't suggest it. Bankruptcy filing will stop your foreclosure at the courthouse steps, but it's only a postponement. And I say postponement because what's going to happen is the bank's attorneys will immediately file to have your property removed from the bankruptcy, and it will be granted by the court. So you may be able to get an extension for a short time period, but it's short term, and the effects of bankruptcy are extremely long term. So be extraordinarily careful if you think that's an option for you. The attorney is going to get paid up front before you file the bankruptcy. Make sure that the long-term results are in your favor, because the bankruptcy will stay on your credit report for 10 years, but in the public records for another 10 years. And again, a commercial lender gets to see the public records as part of your credit report. Now, unfortunately, what we see happen much too often is the homeowner goes with whomever the best salesman is, and probably one of the last people he talks to, and the most persistent person. That person may not have had you make a decision in what's in your best interest. Why would he? He's there to make money. That's what he's there for. So I go through this again. In the text, I go through each one of the people who's going to come to see you, what their motives are, and how you can use those motives to your advantage, especially if you have to sell the property and sell it quickly. So the solution for you to these issues is to become informed very quickly from a source that doesn't have an ulterior motive. Frankly, that's what I wrote the book for. Now, interestingly enough, our initial sales have indicated that real estate investors, like myself, frankly, are by far the preponderance of buyers. There are over 80% of who we're selling the book to. And what they've looked to do is kind of reverse engineer it. I've given them some ideas that they probably haven't seen themselves before, but they're for your benefit. So if you buy the book, please read it as quickly as you can and take advantage of all the no-nonsense advice, frankly, that I've given you. You can see that at stopmyforeclosuremess.com. Glad to see you again, and I'll see you on the next video, number 3. Thanks for coming.